Performance is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and it's very important for us to remember that as traders. What's up, traders? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick, and on my channel I like to talk about the realistic side of trading, which goes well with today's video. Today, as you saw in the beginning of the video, I shared a little bit of my personal trading and investing results. I shared some of my track record as well as some actual real life withdrawals. We're withdrawing around $8,000 of real verified profits from my account. Now, this is not meant to be something where I'm just bragging about my results. This is not me flashing a Lamborghini and all of that sort of nonsense. It's actually hopefully to encourage you guys to make sure that who you're looking at when it comes to the internet, YouTube, Instagram, social media in general, make sure that they actually have some sort of results. It's a big reminder that it's very easy to fake or demo ball or do all this sort of stuff where people basically fake their results to try and get people to buy things. I would heavily encourage you to look into whoever you are looking at, following, whatever, and make sure that they actually have some sort of verified results on a third-party tracking site such as myfxbook.com. Now, trading results there's a long list of different variants. There's people who make more, there's people who make less, and bigger percentage gains per month, bigger percentage gains per year. It's all kind of relative because different traders are better, they're more experienced, they're better at risking, their account, or they're willing to take more risk to get more reward. The amount of money that somebody makes is not as important as the strategies, approach, and risk management that they use to actually get the results. As a trader, it's very, very important to know how much money you're risking and how to protect your capital before you go out and try and make a bunch of money. The actual result that we all want, which is making money in the foreign exchange or stock market, should only come after making the adjustments and appropriate measurements to actually manage risk first. Stop the losing, control the damage done to your account before you try and make money, because the money part will come after you get the hang of this sort of thing and actually learn to stick to a trading plan, actually stick to your strategy, build a strategy that you've back tested and spent time developing and working on and improving, and actually master the concept of risk management. Again, so many newer traders, they focus on the people out there who are sharing, big, huge results and not telling them any sort of underlying reason behind how they made that money. How did they actually come up with the strategies they use? And what are the strategies they use? On my channel, again, I try and share as much as I possibly can that I've actually learned through painful failure in my own journey. There's been a ton of steps along the way, things that have gone terribly. I mentioned recently in a video about a trade that I was in, or a series of trades in a couple different accounts across all my different trading accounts during this recent market crash that we had. I was down somewhere in the neighborhood of $30,000. That was not fun. That's a lot of money. And so, it's nice to be back to a point where I've made back that money over time, sticking to the plan, and even able to withdraw some money as we showed at the beginning of the video. That's great. But again, just a reminder, to understand how to make money and to get to this reward point where you're actually, able to withdraw or do that sort of thing, you have to understand where it's coming from. So right now, I'm going to play you a short clip from that video that I made during those tough times, because you cannot have the good without the bad. You can't have the pleasure without the pain. You have to understand where it comes from. So check out the video right here. Personally, last week, I was down upwards of $35,000. I'm 23 years old. That was half, if not more than half, of my previous job's salary as a software engineer. Absolutely crazy times that we are living in, and some of the volatility is impacting everyone, not just myself, but for me, that was a huge trial. So as you saw in that video, basically, it's very important to understand that you don't get the good side of trading without dealing with the tough side, right? And so as a trader, you need to understand this. As a trader, you need to understand when you're looking at other people out there who are claiming how much money they make, understand where they're coming from. Do they actually have some sort of track record or proof that they're making money, so that you can actually validate whether or not they're worth following. Again, there's a lot of people out there who can claim as much as they want without backing anything up. If you can back it up, then you have my respect, because it's not easy to do. One thing more about analyzing performance or a track record, both in your own trading as well as somebody else's, is that you want to make sure that they don't just have 1 month of performance. 1 month of performance doesn't mean anything, because if I had taken a bunch of longs on the US stock market in just the last month or so, I would be looking like a genius, right? But what about the 6 months before? How did I do when the markets were crashing? Right? It's very important to put things in perspective and to see somebody trade through the good times, the bad times, and everything in between to validate whether or not that they actually have good performance. And in your own case, when you are analyzing your own performance, it's great that you're having a good week. I know a lot of traders who have, had a couple good weeks in the market, and they kind of look at themselves and say, hey man, I'm doing really, really good. But then 2 weeks later, when the market changes and things change and, their strategy gets put under a little bit of pressure and they blow an account or they perform poorly, and they're like, what happened, right? Performance is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and it's very important for us to remember that as traders. It doesn't matter if you can have 2 good weeks and have a really bad 3rd week. That doesn't do us any good. We need to have a solid, overall, consistent growth on our account over the long term, talking month to month or even year to year. The best traders that I know, when you ask them performance-based questions, they don't talk about week to week or month to month. They talk about quarter to quarter and really year to year. How much do you shoot for? What's comfortable for you in 1 year? Can you get 15%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%? You have people who, they can claim big things, but it's really not as easy when you actually try and put it on a track record and show other people through a validated account whether or not you're able to do what you say you do, right? So again, a big reminder, make sure that whoever you're following has some sort of track records, has some sort of proof. And when you're analyzing your own performance, remember that it is a marathon, not a sprint. It's very important that we review performance over the long term to see how our strategies and our own performance are actually doing, rather than a short little period of time where we can get kind of rational claims or draw conclusions about our trading that aren't fully fleshed out. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys, or this video was kind of helpful. I hope that you take some of these concepts and apply them to your own, because I see too many people out there just getting googly-eyed for the demo accounts that are showing huge profits and just kind of buying into the hype. Avoid the hype, stick to what actually works, which is hard work, dedication, consistency, all of that good stuff that we talk about here on the channel. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you back next time.